It's a major factor that a lot of people do not want to talk about. And we're dealing with something that is an industry that breaks in a little over $150 billion every year. Okay, the amount of money that is made here. And this is not just something that is known in a few circles. This is known all over this country. It is known all over the world. They rake in over $150 billion. A large percentage of that, over 60% of that, is made just through the trafficking of children, specifically sexually. So in the Philippines, for example, yes, you have rich, white for the majority, men who travel outside of this country, and they go to the Philippines, they go to, Cambodia, they go to other countries that have less supervision. They have less sophisticated technology to track and trace. They have less sophisticated technology on how to track exactly who this person is, who they are, where they're going, etc. So they know where to go to these modern slave houses where you can go into an entire building that has nothing but children in different rooms. Some of the rooms are where there are little girls, some rooms are just little boys, and they offer different sexual favors. Now we know how this goes. They do the oral, they do the vaginal, they do the anal stuff. And I'm being very specific. I know I'm being raw, but you have to hear this in order to give you the strength to stop it at home. So it doesn't get to this point where now it's something happening on a larger spectrum. Because if everyone at home stopped it, then the chances of it getting out into the world and your child being taken out to the world will be less and less and less. And you're going to have to confront people in your own family. So in these I'm going to say slave houses, with these children who are modern sex slaves, for example, in the Philippines, when the white travelers, for the majority white, there are, of course, people of different nationalities, but the majority happen to be white men, they give them code words. So, and there are plenty of documentaries on this. There was one where you'll walk into the room and they'll tell you whether or not this child can do one of two things. They'll say boom, boom, or yum, yum. It's very serious because it sounds like a movie, but it's real. They'll say, well, no, she does boom, boom, or he does yum, yum. And I'll leave that up to you to understand exactly what that means. And they pay a certain amount of money. It's cheaper in other countries. In America, it's a little more expensive, but they are protected, meaning your identity is protected. The police are in on it. Some of the city officials are in on it. This is not something that is just clandestine, meaning it's totally a secret. No, people are in on this, from government through educational, through local. So it's something that is a collaborative effort. Why? Because it is financially beneficial to the economy. If you speed it over here to America, in 2019, we had something called Stop Sex Trafficking, ATL, where I flew out to Atlanta, Georgia, to speak on the circumstance of sex trafficking happening in Atlanta, which is horrible. If you don't understand, people know Atlanta has a lot of things going on already right now in Atlanta, but a lot of people didn't know Atlanta has a major sex trafficking problem, where it's black men and black women helping to push young black boys and young black girls into underground sex trafficking rings through a lot of these clubs. First of all, so we're gonna have to blow some stuff out of the water here. It's not always adults being pushed through those clubs. And the children are not going to be put out on the main floor, but they push them through, meaning in the back offices in some of these clubs, where they push them through there, and then they put them in vehicles and then transport them to other areas where they then either have them doing the same type of sexual favors, but it's black men and black women who are supervising it, or they're selling them into sex trafficking internationally. But again, it's black men and black women facilitating the transactions of children to this predator here, to this group of predators here where they have underground sex rings of whole men. Okay, when I discovered some of the participants in the underground sex trafficking, and I keep saying underground, but it's really above ground. It's damn near public. It's almost right in your face. You just have to know who is involved in it. In Atlanta, Georgia, we went over a few of the people who were involved in this. We went over a few. You have some judges. I want us to understand just how serious this is. You have some judges involved in this, not just in Atlanta, but let's just go with Atlanta for the moment. You have some political officials involved in this. You have school teachers involved in this. You have police officers involved. See, in order for you to be able to make roughly $150 billion a year, you need participation from the government. Billions requires you to be involved with the government. You can't just say millions, okay? Millions is not even that big, believe it or not. Once you start getting to the point where you are in the tens and hundreds of millions, and you reach the billionaire status or billions of transactions and money, even if it's cash, you need protection from the government. You need access to airports. You need access to transportation systems, the train system, subway system. You need access. It's not just people driving these major diesel trucks with children in the back of these containers, which does still exist, by the way, but it's not just that. It's not efficient enough. You need people to feed them. You need an ability to get them clothing. You need places to house these children. You need cooperation from different levels and arenas of government. So educationally, because some of the teachers are involved in spotting children who are potential money makers for sexual favors. So they have children and teachers in kindergarten, as low as kindergarten, who are involved in this. And they spot them and they look to see who they can use to make money. They switch over into other areas, first, second, third, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade. You've had teachers caught in all of these circumstances and all of these grade levels who were involved in sex trafficking rings. I'm going to switch over to something here. There's a pedophile ring called 0 to 8. 0 to 8. This is the literal name of a pedophile ring. 0 to 8. One of their sayings is, man, this stuff is diabolical, man. But this is something we have to all really learn about. Their name is called 0 to 8. And one of their sayings is, after 8, it's already too late. Sounds like a damn movie, but it's not. It is very real. There are these rings where they specifically tell these, not only groomers, but these basically the hunters who are going to scout and grab children. They want to make sure that they get the children as young as possible, but also they want to make sure that whatever age they get them, that they are still a virgin. This is a very particular type of fetish that most of these people have. They want to make sure that they get a child, or again, if they're 12, 13, 14, 15, they want to make sure that they get them as close to their virginity, because that is a fetish of a lot of these men in particular who travel, and they travel just to conquer the virginity of young girls in particular, and also young boys. Now, in Atlanta, again, the larger percentage of those who are involved in this happen to be Black men, Black women.